Hey everybody, it's Strict Nine with Strict Nine GP, and welcome back to what will probably be the last episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 version. I hope to continue with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders into the 2021 version, but just gonna have to see how that save imports. I got some optimism. I think it's gonna be okay, but a lot to cover this episode. I'm going to try to get through it all. We've got all the tournaments to do. I'd like to get to the end of season, see how we finished, and I'm hoping some positives are going to come from this. I don't know how much prestige game we're going to look at, but it should be something. And like I said, we may have a chance of meeting every goal we've got set. We're the number one seed in this Conference USA tournament. Had a really great season. If we have a good showing in this conference tournament, I wouldn't rule out an invite to the NCAA tournament. But more than likely, if we don't win the tournament, we're probably looking at NIT. But that's from where we're coming from. If you followed us the previous two seasons, that's going to be enough. But looking at the brackets. So we would meet the winner of this Alabama-Birmingham and Charlotte matchup, and then potentially move on against Florida International. I think at this point, any team can be tough. I've seen a lot of upsets in these conference tournaments playing this game over the several seasons now. I've been playing it. But I got a feeling Western Kentucky is going to be one of the tougher teams to get past in this tournament. They've got a really high RPI, which is what we're using in this version. It's going to change next version. We'll talk about that though when we get there. But they scare me. I think if we have to meet Western Kentucky, if we're able to get to the final, they would be a tough team to beat. But after looking at the brackets, I'm going to go back and just go to the. I think it should be. The games grid, and we'll just get started and see how it works out. I mean, 23 wins though. Wow, that's just such. Winning the regular season conference title is one thing, but those 23 wins, I'm blown away. So when do we play? It's not even saying here. I'm hoping it's coming close. I mean, we're on Monday of the week, so I would think Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, it's going to start. Here we go. So first games, this is the one we're looking at. Charlotte, Alabama, Birmingham. I didn't get a chance to see the games the way they came up there, but we'll go back and look for that day. So now, scouting report here, Charlotte. So it's going to be Charlotte. We should be scouted to beat them. Regular season, how do we play against Charlotte? They may have been one of those teams we actually beat on the road. We beat them at home barely, 67-63, and then comfortably beat them on the road. Hopefully that's a good sign. So who else is playing? Let's see if there were any upsets. Florida Atlantic Marshall, Texas El Paso, Rice. That may have been an upset. Yeah, kind of. 10 seed over 7. Not a big one, but well, going the wrong way. So let's go through the other games first, and then we'll get to ours. Now, the first season I took this team on, we finished so low, we didn't even get a chance to play in the conference tournament. Last season, we were one game in and done. Kind of got knocked out early. So the other games you got Texas, San Antonio, Western Kentucky, easy. Like I say, I think they're going to be tough. Florida International, I can't remember that. Those two confuse me. I can't remember if they were the higher seed. Let's go. No upsets. No upsets. Did I not click it? No upsets. 93-80. Fairly comfortable. High scoring, though. But that's win number 24 for us. Things looking still pretty good. So we're playing Florida International. Western Kentucky advances. Let me see how the box score looked on that one. They shot pretty good. Rebounds, we handled them, and just one turnover less, but we had a good shooting game. Eschmeyer came through here, one of his better scoring games of the year, 22 points, 8 rebounds from Craig. Johnson, 16.6 assists, a good line from him. And then off the bench, Brown, no surprise, 10 points. He leads off the bench. Still not as deep as I would like to be, but that bench has been pretty good. So if we look at scouting against Florida International, I would think we would be scouted to beat them, but yeah, that's about the same as the Charlotte game. And then for the regular season, did we play them twice? We beat them at home 100-77. That was one of our biggest wins. But we only played them once, and that was at home. So this would be a good win if we could do it. I mean, 2 wins in the tournament. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Anything at this point, I'm feeling good about just about anything at this point. So we do have an upset here. It's Texas San Antonio knocks off Western Kentucky. So we got a chance, hopefully, if we can get past Florida International. And we don't. Dang it. That's what I'm saying. The conference tournaments, there's always one team, 2 teams that just, they go in there to play. And unfortunately, it's going to be an earlier exit. I was hoping to at least make that final. I didn't really feel too confident about winning. Just like I say, it's really hard to win the tournaments. But man, we shot so well in this game. But turnovers were probably the difference. 18 for us, 12 for them, and really the free throws. They went to the line a lot more. It looks like Johnson may have fouled out. Eschmeyer was pretty good. We just we're still playing Montgomery there. At shooting guard, he's had a pretty decent year, but he's mainly a point guard. I have to say, when all is said and done, it worked out pretty well. And then Kevin Brown, 15 points, just 9.9 for him on the year. Great player off the bench. So let's just get through the final game here, just to see who wins the championship. But gosh, 24-8, I can't complain, but it looks like we might be looking at NIT. And then it's going to be Florida International. And I think they've made it now twice in the 3 seasons I've been with MTSU. That was probably a tough bracket for us, having them in there, because they're just a good team. And Western Kentucky, look at their RPI. I mean, that puts them, like, if we look at the bubble watch, that would probably put, even though we had a much better record, that's probably going to put Western Kentucky above us. Now we're 12th. So unfortunately, just not going to be able to do it. So Florida International comes in there with, just a couple wins above 500. I'm really surprised about that. But we have some other teams here on the bubble from the Conference USA. You've got Middle Tennessee, Texas San Antonio, Western Kentucky, just disappointed. One more win, and I think we might have had a shot at the NCAA. But even so, I feel like I think we got to be looking at NIT at this point, and that would be I'm going to finish playing out the day's games, but that would be every goal that we have set for us would be met. So what's in the inbox? We should be getting some. No, it's just a selection show. We should really be getting some, and I'm going to go ahead and skip it, but we really should be getting some notice here from recruits. I'm still waiting on some guys to agree for it. But so what we're going to be, we're in the NIT, and we're going to be playing Davidson from the Atlantic 10. That's pretty good basketball conference. I'll look at the seedings just to see how we stack up. So NIT, what's it going to be? So we got Western Kentucky coming in the East region as a 5 seed. We got in the Midwest, Middle Tennessee, we're a 4 seed. In the South, Texas San Antonio is a 4 seed. So we got 3 teams here from Conference USA in that NIT tournament, and a 4 seed is tough. You know, that's a like I say, that's a tough matchup. You know, because you're going 1 through 8 in each of those regions. And then NCAA Final Four tournament there. Play-in games haven't been decided. Let's go ahead and get through our game. This could very well be a, 1 and out. It would definitely be good for us if we were able to go through here and make a good showing. Providence wallops Western Kentucky, and then Hawaii beats Florida Atlantic. So we're the only team from this conference still alive in the NIT after the opening round. And we're still in there. 25 wins, 64-56. Good defensive performance, I'm guessing. So we had a couple here. Now, what am I missing? Oh, Texas San Antonio just haven't played yet. Florida Atlantic, they must have made to the... Is it the CBI, maybe? Or the CIT. Probably the CIT. So in that one, we've got Florida Atlantic from Air Conference. They lost. So I'm going to bounce back here to the NIT just to make sure I'm not missing something. But maybe they just didn't play their games yet. Yeah, Florida Atlantic's going to play today. This makes it kind of tough when you're balancing multiple tournaments. So 14th, North Texas, Texas San Antonio. And we're playing Butler. Whew, good Lord. All right, so of the teams in the Conference USA, Texas San Antonio moves on, North Texas moves on. I know I'm bouncing around here, but NIT, that leaves Middle Tennessee, Texas San Antonio. So they're both, how did they finish last year? Yeah, they finished higher than I thought. 13-5. We just, um, I don't know what was the deciding thing, unless it was head-to-head matchups or just better overall record that gave us the regular season championship. But looking at the scouting report on Butler, I'm willing to bet they're going to be scouted way ahead of us. They've got MTSU scouted against them. You can see, though, they've got a couple top 25, 3 top 25 wins. I mean, I got to figure Butler's going to beat us. We'll go through and finish out this game, and then we'll look at the NCAA tournament brackets. Texas El Paso loses to Nebraska. Wow, we win 77-73. That's incredible. Hey, and Penn State, my old team, they're in a tournament for once. Let's take a look at that box score. Pretty decent shooting, man. Free throws are off. We out rebounded them, and turnovers. That a lot of times, like I say, that's the difference. Johnson has been really looking good lately. Look at his last few games. He had one off game against Davidson, but 16, 21, 18 for points. Tremblay, unfortunately, this guy's a senior. I could really use him back one more year. I think he would probably be better with the starting time he got this year. And then off the bench, Brown, 19 points. Oh my gosh. This guy is, he's just really a scoring machine. You give him double the time, he's at 12.8. Give him around 25 minutes a game, and he's, if those numbers translate over, that would be so incredible. And I know I'm bouncing around here, but I'd like to just see who's in the Final Four tournament. So West Virginia, I see, is number 1. We played them this year. But we got Kansas, no surprise, at the number 1 seed. Indiana, Purdue, pretty high seeds there. Florida, who made it to the championship, I think, last year, or may have won it in 2021 in this game. Texas, a high seed. Iowa, Virginia, 2 seed here. Oregon, Kentucky, having a good season, 3 seed. Nashville region, Notre Dame tops. North Carolina at 8 seed. Memphis, 4. Michigan State, always tough, always in these high up in these seedings. Belmont, a number 7 seed. So they are picked to, well, they're not really picked, but they're ranked ahead of Louisiana State. Arizona, the 3rd seed. Denver region. West Virginia, like I say, we played them, and I can't remember how close we played them, but it was a road game. Tennessee, Alabama, 4 seed. Florida International, this is the bracket they're going to be in. They got a tough matchup early against Alabama. Gonzaga, the 2 seed. Georgia Tech, 7 seed. They've been really tough the previous 2 years. Wouldn't surprise me if they get pretty far in another tournament. Oklahoma State, another tough team in the tournaments. So we don't have a game, so I'm just going to go ahead and play through these opening round games here. But can you believe 26-8? I know some of you probably can't, because some of the comments I've seen, I know it's obvious I've been struggling in several areas with this game, but that's a big surprise there for the record. But Buffalo region, you got Kansas easy over Jackson State, Texas Tech over Duke, Indiana, Purdue, no surprises there. Arizona, Virginia Commonwealth, no upsets. So it's 1 through 8. In the Lexington region, it is also 1 through 8. So no upsets to speak of in the opening round. Tennessee, they were their record wasn't that great, but they're out early for what it's worth. So Nashville region, you got Notre Dame, fairly easy. Wichita State and Memphis. Texas A&M knocks off North Carolina. Louisiana State upsets Belmont. That's a tough matchup for Belmont. I mean, going against a decent SEC team, this conference is not that good, but this is one of the biggest upsets I've seen in these tournaments. Charleston beats Michigan State 80-67. 15 seed over 2. As many seasons as I've simmed, I don't remember seeing a 15 seed winning the opening round, so that's huge. And then you got a 14 seed knocking off Oklahoma State, Northern Colorado, 1-point win. That's a big one. So these first two regions went by the numbers. These two, some really big upsets. And Georgia Tech, I didn't mention that, but they prevailed. I bet they're going to give Gonzaga a tough run, I think. So this is going to bring us to the Sweet 16. And there's already kind of, well, I wouldn't say an upset. Iowa's in a great basketball conference, a good team, but they knock off Texas. So from the Buffalo region, Kansas easy over Texas Tech, Indiana over Purdue. You got Virginia Commonwealth an upset over Arizona State, and then Villanova beats Maryland. That's kind of an upset, although Villanova is a good program. You got a big upset here, Missouri over Florida, so the number 1 seed's out here. Iowa over Texas, Kentucky, and then Ohio State knocks off Virginia. So now you're seeing some pretty good upsets in that region. Now we go to Nashville. It's really going to be interesting to see how this one shapes out. So you got Notre Dame easy over Texas A&M, Wichita State over Memphis. Louisiana State knocks off Charleston, so they're going to be in as a 10 seed, and then to the Sweet 16 anyway. And then you got Marquette knocks off Arizona. Arizona, a really strong team. Now come on, this is a big one too. Northern Colorado over Georgia by 2 points, and Georgia Tech, like I say, I don't know what it is, but they are strong when it comes to conference, when it comes to the tournament. So they knock off Gonzaga. They're in the Sweet 16. May have been their 3rd season now that they've been this far. West Virginia holds on barely over North Carolina State. So this might be, if it's not recruiting, it's South Alabama. That's who we're going to be playing. Now, recruiting, some of these guys better start give me something. I'm gonna do a quick thing here. I'm really trying to get this guy from Kentucky. We're not high up on his list. I'm gonna give him playing time, although that's probably not going to be too fair to him. But I'm just going to pitch it out there anyway and see what he says. I want Desmond. He may have already signed. I can't remember. And then shooting guard. What do we have here? Brandon Whitfield. Am I going for a shooting guard? Let me see what I've got on the offers. I got Hemphill. He's my top. We're his top school. Dunkley is the guy I need to move up. Desmond, we're top for him. And then Wilcox is already signed. Or giving us a verbal. Is there anybody else here I need to worry about? Probably not. All right, so let's take a look now at how that NIT tournament is looking for us. So this is going to be for the finals, right? I think. So from the East region, you got St. Louis against Georgetown. we're playing South Alabama, Florida State, Penn State, Central Florida, Samford. Samford's a pretty good program too. They beat us earlier in the season. So let's take a look here at the scouting report. South Alabama 25-7. This is probably a good matchup. Looks like South Alabama. No, we're scouted to beat them, but I'm not feeling 100% confident in this. I think South Alabama probably plays. I can't remember what conference they play in, to be honest. I don't think it's. Is it the Southland? Is that right? No. Sunbelt. As a conference, that would probably put them close to Conference USA, but probably closer to something like an OVC. For us, we're in Conference USA, like a 2.5, 40 conference prestige. South Alabama, 28 conference prestige. So it would be. It's still a good matchup, I'm assuming, but based on level of competition, surely we got a chance at beating this team. I'm going to play through and see if there's any other games first. And then... Oh, it did it anyway. Whew. I must have unchecked it and didn't realize I unchecked it. So we win. So we're in the Final Four of the NIT. 80-77. Really close game, but it looks like, it's a tale of two halves, and we just exploded for 51 points in the second half. Held them in pretty good defensively. They out-rebounded us. We won the turnover battle. I'm telling you, if there's one stat that really picks a winner, that's got to be it. Individually, Eschmeyer, double-double. Johnson, 20 points. This guy's really come through. That's his second game in the last 5. He scored over 20. I wonder if... does it stop counting points per game during the tournaments? I don't know. That's something I'd like to figure out. But Brown looked pretty good off the bench. Landrum back up power forward. He's probably going to get more playing time next year with the depth we're going to have. Baxter, I'm looking forward to giving this guy a shot at, unless his ratings just dive. I think he's got a chance at starting somewhere next year. But we really got a lot more free throws, so fouls were a problem for them as well. So that 3 wins in this tournament. So I just, I can't ask for anything more. Look at this. We're going to be in the finals, playing for a chance at the NIT championship. Whew, 27 wins. Blown away by that. Really just almost speechless. And so now I guess we're getting to, one of the things I really like about the new version, I'm really looking forward to getting to that, but it gives you your upcoming games up here at the top. That would be so cool to have. So we're not playing until the 28th. So let's just go ahead and move over to the NCAA tournament, see if we can get through that. So start with Buffalo region. Some good matchups here. Kentucky, they're going to go through. I haven't seen Kentucky win too much in this game over the seasons that I've been playing. So the Buffalo region, Kansas, that's a team that wins a lot. So they're in the Elite Eight. Virginia Commonwealth beats Villanova. And then you got Iowa, Kentucky. That should be a really good matchup there. In that Lexington region. And Georgia Tech, Elite Eight. Well, I'd like to see them win it because they have come close now. Previous 2 seasons, they've had good runs. But you got Marquette and Wichita State, 6-5. So real competitive bracket, looks like. And then you've got Georgia Tech, 7-5, with Clemson knocking off West Virginia. But Northern Colorado, that's a great run for them, for that program. So now let's move ahead. You got Kentucky over Iowa. First time I think I've seen Kentucky in the Final Four in a lot of seasons anyway. I don't know if I've seen them. If I've seen them at all, it may be one time. So Buffalo, Kansas, easy over Virginia Commonwealth. So you got a 1-3 so far. Kansas is going to be the only 1 seed to advance. And you got Marquette in the Nashville region, so a 6 seed, and then Georgia Tech, Final Four. Good for them. I think they've deserved that. I'm going to pick them to beat Marquette just from the way this sim has run. I think they've got a chance now at making the finals. Check the emails here. John Dunkley. We should be higher than that from this guy so far. So if I go to the recruiting class now, we're second. The thing that scares me is he's got a parent who went to Western Kentucky. So if he's choosing between two conference schools and he's from Kentucky, so we did playing time. I don't know how to pitch him. So Western Kentucky, let me take a look at their facilities. Yeah, they're better than ours. Academics, not as good as ours, I think. But I'm almost positive this is the school we're competing with this guy. Our academics are a little bit better. I may just let it ride because I have done this before where I've done multiple visits and they just kind of either tone out or something happens and they just that second visit winds up slapping me. So let's just hope that it's not Western Kentucky that we're competing against. So we're playing the 28th, so one more and we'll be back to playing out our game. It's going to be against St. Louis from the Atlantic 10. This is our second Atlantic 10 team that we're playing against in this tournament. And once again, we're ranked ahead of them. That means zilch. They have not played any ranked opponents, for what it's worth. But they're coming out of the East region. They knocked off some good teams. They beat the number 1 seed, the number 4 seed Providence, beat Georgetown to get here. We did beat that number 1 seed Butler and the 2 seed. Not sure why South Alabama was seated ahead of us, honestly, but Yeah, I mean this could be theirs to win, but let's see what we got. And looks like North Texas is still playing. I'll have to check out some of these other tournaments. So come on, let's see if we can keep the magic going. We can't. St. Louis, they want to be a Cinderella team here, it looks like. So coming from the lowest seed in that bracket, they're going to make it to the final. But I'm not gonna really be too upset. I don't really know what an NIT tournament gives you. I'm sure it gives you some prestige, obviously, but coming from where we were coming as a team, just making the tournament was good. So I can see already this team really kind of handed it to us in defensively. I wonder if they got a good center here. Maybe. No, that's power forward. He's playing center. That's odd. It appears to be the case. We probably should have beat this team, but we just had a poor shooting performance. And the bench was terrible. I mean, look at the bench numbers. Probably the worst bench performance we've had in a lot of games. I know that's not really our strength. But Eschmeyer was held in check. Montgomery and Johnson are pretty much the only positives out of the game. So what tournament is Arkansas in? So we got North Texas. What conference are they in? Let me see. So the NIT finals, you're going to have St. Louis and Samford. Penn State, though, made it pretty far. In the CIT, you're going to have North Texas and Hawaii in the finals. That's a small tournament, I think. No, it's close to, it's the same amount of people, teams as the NIT. And they may have been the only team that came out of our conference. Florida Atlantic, no, they were in there as well, but lost early. So, North Texas, they're an 8 seed, so another conference with an 8 seed making it all the way. And then the CBI, Arkansas beats Illinois. Now, this is a small tournament. I don't know if we had any teams from, Texas El Paso came from Conference USA. All right, so I'm going to go back to the games grid to finish up this game. North Texas wins, so good for them. Now, was that the championship? Gosh, I can't remember. That was. So North Texas wins that tournament. They're a pretty good program, it looks like, even though their record was off this year. They finished with 20 wins. Good showing for them in that conference, or in that tournament. And I think that means CBI is done. NIT finals again went to Samford over St. Louis. Man, we were so close. So now we just got to finish up the Final Four. And once again, like I say, I think it's going to be Georgia Tech. I'm gonna go Georgia Tech, Kentucky. Well, it's going to be Georgia Tech, but I think it blipped by quick. I think it's Kansas. So Georgia Tech is obviously a tournament team. They get really hot when the tournament comes along, I'm guessing. And Kansas won pretty easily, but good on Georgia Tech. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna take a look. Man, look at that kind of man. If we could build up to that prestige with this team, that would be so cool. I think it's under the history. Yep, so they've made it to the Elite Eight 2 years in a row. So this is going to be payback for payoff, however you want to say it, for them to finally put it together and make it all the way to the finals. And before we get to that game, there's a lot of menu hopping in this episode. All right, so we got Dunkley. I think he was, in all honesty, the best recruit we had. He's the only 3-star. I like this guy. He's, his ratings improved as the season went along. We'll see. We'll see how he does. We're gonna really have to hope that system we've got in place can keep us winning at least next year. Desmond has moved down a little bit. That could be an issue because now I think we're out of the period where I can go. Yeah, we're in the dead period. So he's it. We gotta hope that he signs with us. All right, so this is gonna be. It's gonna be it. I still think Kansas will win, but this might be a shocker. It is a shocker. Georgia Tech, 62-50 over Kansas. Man, I'm happy to see that. I don't know if I've seen a seed even this low win the title before, but dang, what a great game for them. Just, that was defense. And really, two key stats to me. Well, 3 if you want to throw in the shooting percentage. I mean, that was pretty bad, pretty awful. But 26 of 30 from the free throw line to 4 for 9 for Kansas. So how's that for discipline? 12 personal fouls to 24. So they doubled them up in personal fouls. 14 to 22 on turnovers. So great defensive performance to win that one. And I think we're probably going to be advancing to the association winners. And I'll just go ahead and get to the winners here. And I like to look first off at the entire association, just see what kind of players are out there. So you got Jeremy Winston at Georgia Tech, senior power forward. So this is probably one of the reasons they did what they did. Wow. This guy was a beast. 31 points against West Virginia, 46 points against the Citadel. I wish we could see that box score from here. That'd be awesome. 46 points. I saw 39. He plays against the big teams too. 39 against Boston College, 37 against Duke, 28 and 29 there. 29 against Gonzaga, which they knocked off. Gonzaga, that 1 seed. Man, this guy was one heck of a player. He was Norton Award, Final Four, Player of the Year. Then you got Defensive Player of the Year, freshman from St. John's, shooting guard. Mark Few, Coach of the Year out of Gonzaga. And then for conference, let me look at the first and second teams. So you got Winston, obviously. Notre Dame must have a really good program there. And then second team, Iowa, Ohio State, Alabama, Virginia, Georgetown. So now let's take a look at our conference. I'm hoping that we have something to look for. Well, we've got one big thing to look forward to. Coach of the Year, Chris Strychnine. I've never won that award, I don't think. Even when I won, maybe that season that I won the OVC with Austin Peay. Maybe I got a Coach of the Year there. But individuals, Cherry Matthews, no surprise. I think he showed up on I think he was a Norton candidate for a while. You got Mills Jackson out of Old Dominion. I would like to think that we got some first and second team notice, but not on the first team. We got Western Kentucky, Rice, Florida National, UAB, Texas San Antonio. Second team, Eschmeyer made it at center, and he's it. Kind of surprised. The freshman went to John Hart. Yeah, he did have a good year. He's a center. He's got some good ratings. But that's going to do it. Now we just advance. And I don't know if this is going to advance to where we need to be to import the season. But that's what I'm going to do after this episode. I'm going to, for the next episode, I'll probably even create a new, for what it's worth, I'll probably even create a new playthrough series on YouTube, just so it's not confusing with the 2021 version. You know, I've been playing around with it. I took my old Austin Peay team and just did a season with them. And if you're looking, by the way, if you're looking for a small conference challenge, but you want a pretty good team to start, they're a good one. We dominated in the regular season of that conference and finished really strong. Finished really, really strong. I think it was 24 wins or something like that. Really good. They've got a good, fairly young team, but for the most part, their depth of the starting five is just great. I think they were scouted. Every starter was scouted really like 3.5 or above. So looking at the inbox, I know we're probably gonna. The last thing I wanted to check was the season review. And we got it. We even improved our prestige just a little bit, but 42, I said I wanted to get above 50. So that's really good. But we made all of our goals. I think in terms of where we are, I don't know if they're going to give me, where do you see? Four years remaining. So I guess that's fine. Coaching here, that's still a problem. Depends on, I think if I'm looking at the amount of scholarships, how many juniors do we have? Jack Walker is a walk-on. Power forward, we're going to be upside down there, and we do have this center coming in next year, but wow, we may have the money to really get a better coach. That might be something we need to do. But it looks like I was given an extension, so that's good. In terms of the staff, I'm still threes, top to bottom. I know that I started developing in these individual ratings in the playthrough when I was with UAB. So a few more seasons of winning, and I might advance there. But I would like, scouting. I'm okay to let that one ride if it comes to it. But if I can find a better recruiter, I'll probably see what's out there in the assistant coaches. But improving that prestige, man, that's huge. We have a better prestige than the conference. So what we got to do next, well, we've still got to work on this prestige. We've got to have another good season. But we need to get into the tournament and start winning, and maybe bring up the conference prestige, and that's going to help us in terms of what we're going to be able to do with recruits. But couldn't ask for a better performance this year. I think we needed it. I don't know that we needed that much, but that's really looking good. But I'll let it go at that. Appreciate all the support. Look for 2021 next episode. I think it's going to be really fun. I like what I'm seeing with that game, and I will see you then.